Yes, you're welcome back to Smokey's Football Channel, and today we are doing the weekend recap. Yeah, recap of the matches that were played this weekend, and this weekend was crazy. This weekend was crazy. So we are talking about Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, West Ham, Man City, and Brighton. Yes, right now the EPL is looking very crazy. You're not sure for anybody. Anybody can collect anytime. Chelsea eventually won a match after several tries from last season. They actually won a match against Luton Town. They played quite well, but can I really predict the position they would be by the end of the season? I just can't say yet. I'm giving them 5 more matches. So Chelsea, for me, I don't think they are there yet when it comes to the top six. Moving on to Arsenal. Arsenal's first 2 matches were really good, really, really good. But this third match, a flashback to reality. Remember, I've always been saying that Declan Rice is not yet fit into that team. And as for Kai Havertz, he's not doing anything in that team, apparently. He's still the same player he was when he was at Chelsea. So he's not adding any value to that team. But when it comes to Declan Rice, yeah, you can see a little bit of brilliance here and there, but he's not glued into that middle just yet. So I believe the likes of Partey would actually help him blend more into that team. Declan Rice had a bad day at the office. There was no way he could marshal that midfield against a Fulham team. So thank God Fabio Vieira stepped up and Arsenal were able to equalize. Although Fulham would have actually won the game eventually at the end when they had the counter from Adama Traore, if I'm not mistaken. But lucky Arsenal, and they were able to come out with a draw, even with Fulham being a man down. Okay, so Liverpool were not left out of this drama from the weekend. They played against Newcastle, and it was a bumper package. Yes, they were losing 1-0, and somehow Jurgen Klopp was able to find a magic by bringing in Darwin Nunes, the forgotten hero. I remember they signed him for about how much 10 was it 60 million or something, one ridiculous amount, and he's been there warming the bench where the likes of Salah and Co were scoring the goals, and we thought maybe it was a failed signing eventually, but now there's been some positives because the last match he scored the 2 goals that gave Liverpool the win. You can say Liverpool are looking in great form, but you can't dispute the fact that there's still two more in that team because they do not have a I can't say a reasonable defensive midfielder because all they have is this Endo and nobody knows Endo. Even in that match, it was negligible left to me. Newcastle played very well, but they just couldn't find the right answers to Liverpool's game plan, and it worked perfectly because Liverpool came out with the win eventually. So can I say Liverpool are part of these top six teams? Thinking about it, I think Liverpool should be one of those teams that will be in the top six come the end of the season because that fighting spirit is really not easy. Yeah, Manchester United played against Nottingham Forest and it was a very tough match for Manchester United. All their new signings are not performing. Be it Mason Mount, whoever, they are not performing. And it's been very difficult for Ten Hag to find a rhythm within that team. But during this match, I don't know, somehow, some way they eventually found something and they were able to fight back and eventually win that match. So can I say that Manchester United too are part of the top six by the end of the season? Honestly, I don't think so. Because looking at the new players they've signed and the ones they had before the window, there is really nothing spectacular. Except they are able to sign maybe Amrabat or somebody. But for now, I don't think Man U will be part of the top six. Maybe seventh, maybe eighth, but not the top six. That's my own belief. Manchester City played against Sheffield United, and there was a bit of scare because we expected it to be a walkover for Manchester City, but it was also a tough match. Can I say everybody is suffering from transfer window fever and everything because all the teams are not performing to their optimum status. Man City played quite well, but Sheffield United were very resilient at the back and they refused to allow the rain of goals like they usually expected. Although Manchester City got a penalty and Erling Haaland missed it. Yeah. So, but eventually Manchester City were able to find a way to win that match, and I can definitely say that Man City will be one of the top six teams come the end of the season. That one sure. West Ham United and Brighton Hove Albion. Yes, Brighton Hove Albion has been a team that everybody is looking up to because of their gameplay and the way their coach has been able to get them playing a very decent style of football, very attacking, very flair driven. and we expected them to sweep aside West Ham, although West Ham were able to beat Chelsea, but still we expected them to do a very good game against West Ham. But exactly the same thing that happened to Chelsea. They played a very tactical game, West Ham, and they were able to see off Brighton 3-1, which is really funny because even the goal scored by Brighton was more of a consolation goal because they were already 3-0 down, and it was really a crazy game. So can I say that Brighton or West Ham will be one of the top six? I think West Ham would be one of the top six. But for Brighton over them, I believe they are going to find it hard to break through teams and run them out this season as they always do. But for West Ham, I believe they have a perfect plan. And considering the fact that they signed Mohamed Kudus, which happens to be one of the top rated attacking midfielders, and they still have Lucas Paqueta in the middle, and they have, of course, the very reliable Mikel Antonio, that is always resilient and very adamant up front. I believe they are going to get goals and cause a lot of upsets this season. They have already done it with Chelsea and they have done it with Brighton also, and it's just 3 games into the season. So I think West Ham is going to be one of the teams in the top six. For Brighton, I think they will lavish in maybe the eighth or ninth position. Yeah, so that's all I'm giving you for recap for today for this weekend. So stay tuned for more on recap every Monday like this, or maybe Tuesdays if we have EPL matches on Monday. Yeah, I also talk about La Liga and other leagues, but just briefly on some other days. But today is majorly for the EPL weekend recap. Like I always say, if you're new here, don't endeavor to subscribe. Click on the bell notification button so you get notified anytime I drop a new video. Smash that like button. Until next time when I come your way, peace.